Welcome to Private Stories, where people discover who they really are. Ryan tightened his grip on the steering wheel, forcing himself to breathe slowly. His pulse was racing, yet inside he felt a rare excitement. For the first time in months, he was leaving the office before sunset. His consulting firm worked closely with partners in Europe and Asia, and the endless time differences had swallowed his nights whole. But tonight was different. Tonight he would be home. He had not told Emily he was coming early. He wanted to see her face light up in surprise. On the way, he stopped by a small boutique flower shop in downtown Seattle and bought her favorite white lilies. Their scent filled the car, soft and intoxicating. He added a bottle of aged red wine, something expensive and smooth. The drive to their suburban house in Bellevue passed in a blur. He imagined walking through the door. Imagined wrapping his arms around her slim waist. Imagined her laughing, brushing her long dark hair over her shoulder. They both earned well. They had plans. Investments. Vacations in Napa Valley. Maybe a child one day. Every quiet evening together felt like a luxury. When Ryan turned into their driveway, his smile slowly faded. Emily's silver Lexus was not there. He frowned. Maybe she had a late client meeting. Her marketing position often required evening presentations. Still, something tightened inside his chest. He stepped into the house. Silence. No soft music. No scent of her perfume. Just emptiness. The walls felt colder than usual. He pulled out his phone and called her. The ringing seemed endless. Finally she answered. Her voice was distant, flat, cold. "Hey, where are you?" he asked lightly. "I got off early." A pause. Long enough to make his stomach twist. "I am not coming home tonight," she said. Ryan blinked slowly. "What do you mean you are not coming home?" Another pause. "Do I need to repeat myself?" Her tone carried irritation he had never heard before. Something inside him shifted. "Emily, what is going on?" "I have urgent work matters," she replied sharply. "Do not bother me. I will be home tomorrow." The line went dead. He stood there holding the phone, staring at nothing. The lilies trembled slightly in his hand. The house felt larger, empty, hostile. That night he did not sleep. He sat at the kitchen island, fingers intertwined, staring at a cup of coffee that had long gone cold. Over and over he replayed her voice. The indifference, the irritation, the cold dismissal. At sunrise he saw headlights through the window. The silver Lexus pulled into the driveway. Emily stepped out calmly. Her dark hair fell over her shoulders. She closed the car door gently, as if returning from an ordinary grocery trip. She walked inside. Saw him. "Morning," she said casually. Then added without waiting for a reply. "I am going to take a bath." She disappeared down the hallway, her heels clicking softly on the hardwood floor. Ryan watched her go. She did not look guilty. She did not look tired. She looked composed, satisfied, and that hurt more than anything. He grabbed her car keys and stepped outside. Inside the vehicle, he noticed her tablet resting on the dashboard. Without thinking, he opened the navigation history. An address appeared. A private condominium in downtown Seattle. His jaw tightened. Then he opened the glove compartment. Among receipts and random papers lay a small box. Condoms. Opened. One missing. He felt something dark rise inside him. They had not used protection in years. There had been no reason. That was enough. Today he would have answers. He returned to the house just as she came out of the bathroom wrapped in a silk robe, hair damp, cheeks flushed. She smiled faintly as if nothing had happened. He waited until she sat across from him. "Where were you last night?" His voice was calm. Too calm. She rolled her eyes slightly. "I told you it was work-related. There is nothing to discuss." He slowly placed the open box on the table between them. "Is this also work-related?" "I checked the navigation." "Whose place did you spend the night at?" Silence thickened the air. Her expression hardened. "Why were you going through my car and my things?" "You are acting ridiculous." His composure cracked. "I was forced to look because my wife is acting strange. Or should I say cheating and trying to make me look like a fool." She straightened. It was not cheating. He almost laughed. So spending the night with another man is not cheating. Let me guess. You were watching cartoons. And the condoms were for filling with water and throwing from the balcony. She stood abruptly, her face flushed with anger. It was not cheating. It was gratitude. Ryan stared at her. Gratitude. She exhaled heavily and sat down again, avoiding his eyes. I had serious problems at work. Mistakes. They were going to fire me. I have invested so much into that position. We have plans. I did it for us. For our future. Her voice lowered. His name is Daniel. He defended me in front of the board. Money did not interest him. He wanted something else. She swallowed. I gave him what he wanted. It was one night. I felt nothing. I love you. Let us just forget it. Ryan looked at her. Forget it. As if a night like that could vanish. As if betrayal could be erased like chalk from a board. She noticed the flowers and wine on the counter. For a moment something flickered in her eyes. Then she opened the bottle, poured 2 glasses, handed one to him. Sometimes in life we have to step outside the lines to win, she said softly. Let us not destroy everything over one mistake. He studied her face, searching for remorse, for shame. He found ambition, calculation, and something colder. Did he force you? No. It was my decision. He only hinted. I needed his loyalty. Please, let us start fresh. It will never happen again. Ryan nodded slowly. Start fresh. He repeated the words as if tasting poison. Then he took a sip of wine and stood. I understand. He walked outside. The cool air hit his face. His mind was no longer chaotic. It was sharp, focused. Divorce seemed too simple. Too easy. No, she needed to understand the cost of betrayal. She and Daniel both. And as he walked back into the house with a calm expression, Emily had no idea that her forgiving husband had already begun planning a lesson she would never forget. By Monday morning, Ryan was already several steps ahead. He drove to work with a quiet clarity that surprised even him. The anger was still there, but now it had direction. That same day, he remembered something important about Emily's company. Brightwave Marketing prided itself on strict internal policies. Romantic relationships between employees were considered a serious violation, especially if one of them held influence over the other. Such scandals were handled swiftly and without mercy. Termination, public distancing, reputation preserved at any cost. Ryan understood that charging in blindly would destroy his own position. He needed distance, an alibi. He met with his supervisor, Charles Whitman, a disciplined man in his late 50s with sharp blue eyes and a perfectly trimmed silver beard. Ryan requested a temporary transfer to a manufacturing facility in Denver. Charles raised an eyebrow. You hate production floors, he said with a half smile. You belong in boardrooms. Ryan offered a calm explanation. Burnout, need for a reset, a change of environment. Charles eventually agreed. A 2-week assignment. Enough time. When Ryan told Emily about the trip, she barely reacted. She simply wished him luck. That indifference confirmed everything. The following evening, Ryan searched online for small acting studios. He found one in Seattle that specialized in background performers for corporate simulations and experimental theater. He met with the studio director, a lively woman named Monica Hale. He presented his idea carefully. He needed subtle encounters, random strangers, short comments, nothing direct, nothing aggressive, just enough to plant panic. Monica listened, intrigued. It was unusual, but not illegal. And certainly creative. Within days they had a simple scenario. 3 actors. Business casual attire. Each would approach Emily in different public spaces. Deliver a single line referencing her generosity. Then leave. No confrontation. No explanations. Only implication. The plan was precise. Controlled. Measured. Early Wednesday morning, Ryan flew to Denver. He kissed Emily goodbye lightly. She adjusted her silk blouse and checked her reflection in the hallway mirror. Neither of them mentioned Daniel. That same morning, Emily stopped by her favorite cafe near the office. The scent of roasted coffee beans wrapped around her like comfort. She ordered a latte and almond croissant. As she reached for the cup, a tall man in a navy suit stepped beside her. He looked at her closely, then smiled faintly. "It is you." She froze. "Excuse me. I recognized you," he continued casually. "You are the woman who knows how to thank her colleagues properly. Very generous of you." Her heart skipped. "I think you are mistaken." The man chuckled softly. "Some favors are unforgettable." He walked away. Emily stood still, fingers trembling around the warm cup. It must be coincidence, she told herself. People say strange things. The next day she returned, determined to ignore it. This time a different man noticed her. He widened his eyes theatrically. "Madam, I have heard about your dedication to professional growth. Truly inspiring." She felt heat rise to her face. "What are you talking about?" He waved dismissively. "Modesty does not suit someone so selfless." Then he left. Her stomach dropped. That evening she barely touched her dinner. By Friday her nerves were unraveling. Every whisper sounded like her name. Every glance felt accusatory. On her way out of the office she collided with a young woman who apologized quickly while helping gather fallen documents. As they stood, the woman leaned slightly closer. "Sometimes secrets travel faster than ambition. And your gratitude seems very popular." Then she walked away. Emily's vision blurred. This was no longer coincidence. Someone knew. Someone was spreading it. Her mind turned immediately to Daniel. That night she called Ryan. Her voice shook. "People are saying strange things. Things they should not know." There was silence on the line. Then Ryan's voice came calm. "What are you implying? Did you tell anyone about our argument?" "No, of course not. Why would I? I thought we agreed to forget." His tone sharpened slightly. "Maybe you are overthinking. Stress does strange things." She felt smaller with every word. Maybe he was right. Maybe she was losing control. The next day she confronted Daniel in his office after most employees had left. "Did you tell anyone about us?" He looked genuinely alarmed. "Are you insane? If anyone finds out, we are both finished." "I have said nothing. You need to calm down." She studied his face. He seemed afraid, which only deepened her confusion. By Friday afternoon she felt like glass about to shatter. She prayed the weekend would bring silence. Instead it brought humiliation. A courier entered Brightwave Marketing carrying a massive bouquet of crimson roses. The fragrance filled the entire open office. Delivery for Emily Parker. All heads turned. Her pulse pounded in her ears. "I did not order anything," she snapped. The courier checked the card. "To the most magnificent and passionate woman in the company." From Daniel. A wave of murmurs spread. Snickers. Raised brows. Emily's control cracked. She shouted. Accused. Insulted. Her voice echoing across glass walls. At that moment the company director, Richard Collins, stepped out of his office. A stern man with heavy brows and a controlled demeanor. "What is happening here?" He picked up the card. "Read it silently." His jaw tightened. Then he addressed the room. "Enough. Back to work." But the damage was done. Emily felt something snap inside her. All the fear, all the humiliation, all the pressure, exploded. "Yes," she screamed. "Yes, I slept with him. Is that what you all want to hear?" The office fell into stunned silence, as if oxygen had vanished. And fate added cruel timing. Daniel walked in seconds later, smiling from a successful meeting. Emily grabbed his arm. Tell them we are lovers. We are not like them. We are not afraid." Daniel went pale. "Why would you say that? Why would you tell them?" His whisper confirmed everything. Gasps filled the room. Emily felt the world tilt. She ran out, tears blurring her vision. Behind her, careers were collapsing, reputations burning. And far away in Denver, Ryan received a simple message from Monica. "It is done." He stared at the phone for a long moment. No smile, no triumph, only silence. Ryan returned from Denver 2 days later. Emily was waiting for him, not in tears, not fragile, but furious. The moment he stepped inside the house in Bellevue, she began firing questions at him. Her green eyes were sharp, almost wild. "You did this. Do not pretend. You set this up." Ryan placed his suitcase calmly near the staircase. "I have no idea what you are talking about." Her breathing grew heavier. People knew. Strangers. Flowers. The entire office. Daniel was humiliated. "I was humiliated. You think that just happened?" He shrugged lightly. "Maybe secrets have a way of surfacing. Maybe guilt makes you paranoid." Her hands were shaking. "Do not play with me." She moved toward the kitchen counter and grabbed a knife. The movement was fast, impulsive. Her silk blouse wrinkled as her chest rose and fell. Ryan did not step back. He watched her carefully. "Emily, put it down." She pointed it toward him, tears filling her eyes. "You destroyed everything." He stepped forward quickly and struck her wrist. The knife clattered across the floor. The sound echoed like a gunshot. For a second, they just stared at each other. Her face twisted with rage. She grabbed a dining chair and hurled it toward the large living room window. Glass shattered outward. Cold air rushed in. Her scream followed. Broken. The neighbors called the police. Within minutes, flashing lights painted the walls red and blue. Officers entered cautiously. Emily froze at the sight of uniforms. Her anger drained instantly. She slid to the floor and began to sob. Ryan spoke calmly. "She has been under extreme stress. She drank tonight. She is not herself. Maybe some kind of breakdown." The paramedics approached gently. Emily did not resist. She looked exhausted. Empty. She was admitted for observation. Severe nervous collapse. Exhaustion. Possible alcohol-induced episode. Ryan visited once. He brought neutral flowers. No lilies. No wine. She looked smaller in the hospital bed. Her dark hair tied back loosely. Eyes hollow. When she was released nearly a week later, she returned home. And immediately noticed something was wrong. The house felt stripped. Half empty. Ryan's suits were gone. His watches. His shoes. She called him at once. "Where are your things? Why is the closet empty?" His voice was steady. "Because I moved out." Silence. "You what?" "Emily. I cannot live with a woman who lost control because of her own betrayal." Her voice rose. "Do not twist this. You pushed me." He exhaled slowly. "Let us skip the drama. We will settle this in court. I have already filed. The house is on the market. We will divide the proceeds. 80% to me, 20 to you." Her breath caught. "Are you insane? After everything, you think you deserve 80. If we go to court, I will make sure you get nothing." He allowed himself a faint smile she could hear in his tone. "Emily, before you threaten me, remember the cameras in the house, the kitchen, the living room, the night with the knife, the chair, the threats. Everything is recorded. If I submit that evidence, your little outburst becomes attempted assault." The silence on the line stretched painfully. "You would not, would you?" He answered calmly. "I do not want to. Accept the agreement, or we make it public." Her anger collapsed into desperation. In the following weeks she begged, apologized, promised, cried. He remained composed, cold, precise. The divorce moved quickly. The evidence was enough to discourage any aggressive legal battle. Emily received 20%. No more. Meanwhile, Brightwave Marketing terminated both Emily and Daniel. Officially for violating corporate conduct policy. Unofficially to protect the company reputation. Daniel's career stalled instantly. Whispers followed him to every interview. Emily tried applying to other firms. But scandals travel faster than resumes. Months passed. Ryan finalized the sale of the house. Moved into a modern apartment overlooking Lake Washington. Clean lines. Minimalist furniture. Silence. He had achieved what he set out to do. She felt the cost. Daniel felt the cost. Yet late at night, when the city lights reflected on the water, Ryan would sometimes sit alone by the window and feel nothing. No victory, no satisfaction, only a hollow space where love once lived. He remembered her laughter, her long dark hair across his pillow, the way she used to curl beside him on quiet Sundays. Justice had been served, but happiness had not returned. And in that quiet apartment, surrounded by everything he had protected, Ryan finally understood something bitter. Revenge can restore pride, but it cannot rebuild a heart once it has been broken. 2 years passed. Time softened the scandal, but it never erased it. Emily moved to another state, took freelance contracts. Her confidence never fully returned. Sometimes she would wake at night remembering the cafe, the roses, the office silence, and Ryan's calm voice on the phone. Daniel disappeared from her life entirely. Their so-called passion dissolved under pressure. What once felt thrilling became shame. Ryan advanced in his firm. Promotions came. Travel returned. Money increased. But relationships remained shallow. He dated beautiful women, blondes with bright smiles, redheads with sharp humor. None stayed long, because he no longer trusted easily. One autumn evening he saw Emily unexpectedly at an airport in Chicago. She looked thinner, her dark hair shorter. There was no anger in her eyes, only fatigue. They stood facing each other, two strangers with shared history. "Hello," she said quietly. "Hello." For a moment neither spoke. "I was wrong," she said. "I chose ambition over love, and I paid for it." He studied her face. There was no manipulation left, only truth. "We both lost," he replied. A boarding announcement interrupted them. She nodded. "Take care of yourself, Ryan. You too, Emily." They walked in opposite directions. No dramatic reunion, no final embrace, just distance. Ryan sat on the plane staring out the window as the runway lights blurred. He felt something shift inside him. Not forgiveness, not regret, but acceptance. Some lessons arrive wrapped in love, others in betrayal, and sometimes the price of pride is loneliness. He closed his eyes, and for the first time in a long while, he allowed himself to grieve. Thank you for watching this video to the end. Visit our channel for interesting and intriguing stories.